Texting. Hello, Mr. BBD. Are you on the... Hello there. Hello, Mr. BBD. Welcome back to the mid-sack. Hey, look who's back. Look who fell into the gig. The Redoubtable one, the glorious return. Alley-like return, if you will, to the ring.
An alley-like
The Redoubtable
return.
Tom Izzo. Thomas J. To those of you not formally introduced, the Highly Question 100 at your segment 1 IDD. For those who know, I don't disagree. It is a wet my whistle, and I just thought some serious wetness going on here tonight. Wetness.
Been a while.
Yeah, it has been a while. Wet my whistle Wednesday. Here we are on IDD in the mid-sec. By the way, not too bad today. Not too cold, not too warm. Almost like an early spring, dare I say.
Well, it's winter's starting to break. Mm-hmm.
You mentioned that the sun is staying up later.
No, you said it.
Was it me?
As we were walking into basketball practice.
Yeah, it's staying
It was
later.
still light outside.
At 5:30.
And typically we're taking our sons in and it feels like it's 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
But this segment brought to you by a new sponsor.
Yes.
Well, same old sponsor, different flavor.
Yes.
Mountain Dew Zero Baja Blast with a little of the Pin Whip.
Spectacular, by the way.
Pinnacle Whip, if you're not familiar.
For those who know, it's Pin Whip. It's Pin Whip. Pin up. But anyway, segment 1, all things NBA. Hey, when he last saw him, they were breaking into the All-Star break. If he
Why is this kid on the bench?
If you want, I don't know. By the way, when we're talking to you, Providence, the Friars, Anadani with Xavier, 68-68 with 5:45. We'll keep you updated on this. This is Bubble Watch, Tournament Watch. It is February 21st, by the way. March Madness is knocking. It's coming. Faster than you can think. But anyway, we'll start with the NBA. We did not get his take or his midseason grade on the Knicks. I told him what mine was off the air. And my reasoning for that, as you guys know, was because of the moves they made and how well they were playing before they got derailed by injuries. Now, just to set the stage, we don't know, as of 10 o'clock in the East, what is going on with OG and with what's his name there? Randall, who, according to Tom, what he's been hearing in the New Yorker, he's been practicing twice a day. So one would think he's
working out twice a day.
So
That's what Thibodeau said.
So one would think he's closer to a return than a possible surgery. But somebody threw out possible surgery. I don't know why, given he's working out twice a day.
Trying to see if I can find anything.
Yeah. But first of all, midseason, give us your assessment of the Knicks. I'm sure you'll and take the injuries into account because that is you have to be fair.
But see, you know me, and I'm not fair.
I know.
I'm completely a prisoner of the moment.
If you've ever played one-on-one against him, you know he's not fair. Okay, trust me. If he can throw a hip, and derail yours at the same time, so be it.
If you can't be quick, throw a hip. You know.
There you go. But anyway, so your assessment, fair assessment of the Knicks as they start.
I didn't say fair. I said unfair.
Unfair. You're unfair.
So, my unfair assessment is like. The only thing I can see is that 4-game losing streak to end the first half of the season.
But you know why that happened.
I know why that happened. Yes. And look, the Knicks have been great this year. First, I don't know what, 40 games of the season, the Knicks were good. It was a continuance of last year. Still felt like they weren't good enough to take a next step. Mm-hmm. Then they made the trades, which were awesome.
Yeah.
OG came on.
They had the best. They had the best in-season moves, I thought.
Yeah.
Of any team in the whole league, I thought.
Well, I mean, it seemed like their moves were the most impactful because the minute they got OG, they went on a 10-2 run. You know.
Now, I don't know if he correlated this, but think about the addition of OG and what it did to the Knicks. Think about the subtraction of Drew Holiday from the Bucks and what it did to them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It literally had the exact opposite effect.
It shows you how one person can impact the way the entire team
If it's
plays.
the right guy,
right?
Yeah.
If it's a glue guy,
and he's a glue guy,
right? They're
really
both glue guys.
They both
because they just do their fucking job.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And when you have somebody that does their job on both sides of the court every night. It transfers to the entire team.
It permeates.
Yes.
It does.
It's like fucking osmosis. Okay. But then Randall has the injury where he goes down.
Yep.
That was against the fucking Heat.
Well, it's always against the fucking Heat.
Right. Jaime Jaquez or whatever his name is.
Yeah, he's learning the culture down there real well.
He undercut Randall.
Yep.
Then OG,
he used to like
all of a sudden the elbow. Well, I mean, it's like guilt by association with the Heat.
Heat culture is really one of thuggery.
It's true.
Thuggery is what it is. It's not this
goonery,
yeah. Buffoonery goonery.
But So it's tough for me because it's not that I want to take anything away from the Knicks, but there's the pessimist side of me that feels like they're not going to get back together this year. Like it feels like these injuries are going to be too much to overcome. They lost Mitchell Robinson earlier in the year.
Yeah.
And that felt like it was going to really hurt them. And then Hartenstein.
He's been a blessing.
He's been great.
He's been great.
But
he
see,
really
then
has.
he hurt his Achilles.
Yeah.
So they're down Hartenstein. You know OG and Randall.
Yep.
DiVincenzo's hurt.
Yeah,
they make
he's
the
hurt
trade, 4 games before the end of the first half.
First half, yeah.
And now the guy from Detroit, Bogdanovich. He's hurt.
He's hurt.
So it's just like I'm feeling like I'm watching the Mets and Verlander's hurt and Scherzer's hurt and it's just kind of like it's hard for me to grade it. I mean, it would have been A, and now I'm being a pessimist and I feel like I'm gonna have to see them complete again.
Well, again, it's a
for me to
first
take them
half
seriously.
grade. It's not the season grade. It's up to this point. What do you give him, given everything is considered? B plus?
No, I
B?
give him an A.
I would give him an A. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Given what's happened to them.
If I'm really being non-biased.
Here's the thing. Take Boston out of it for a second. The reason, dare I say this, but I've been thinking about this. I haven't had a chance to talk to him, but I've been looking at the Knicks.
Do we float again or no? We
finish
top
it.
off.
Top off. So
this
anyway,
is absolutely delicious.
oh, it's heavenly.
I mean,
it really is. It's succulent. It's pure succulence. It's pure succulence.
In terms of my diet soda pairings with Pinnacle, I'm
He
on
moonlights as a bartender at that at Dagobah. Dagobah. That's where he runs his.
I apologize. Yeah. You said
no. What I was
taking Boston out of the equation.
Take Boston equation. Here's the thing, and the reason that I am optimistic for the Knicks. There's 2 things going on here that I think no one's really, at least, and I get why he's not, because he's focused on his team. My thing is, who's the biggest threat to the Celtics in the East? And I'll tell you why it is still the Knicks. Because the Knicks have 2 things going for them where home court isn't going to change it. Okay, that's defense, okay, and chemistry. Those things travel. Up until these trades, the Knicks lacked chemistry and cohesion. They do not lack it now. All the Knicks have to do is get healthy and stay in the top 6. And to me, 6 is just as good as 3 because you avoid Boston in the second round. If the Knicks finished in 6th, I wouldn't be upset about it because I know this. They can beat Philly with no home court, and they can beat Milwaukee with no home court because their defense is far superior. And their bench is deeper, and quite honestly, I think their coach is better. And again, I said this before.
And they've beaten both of those teams before the trade.
Exactly. The thing is this, the Knicks, if they get healthy, they're going to get healthy and they're going to improve. These other 2, Philly's Philly. I mean, they're only going to go as far as Embiid takes them. And Embiid by himself, he's out for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know when he's coming back. And what they're doing, they're waiting to see where Philly's is. They might shut him down for the year, so you might take them out of the equation altogether.
You think so?
If they're not in the top 4 in 4 weeks still, they might shut him down.
But do you think they would feel the same way, thinking, look, if we can get the 6th seed,
they don't play defense like the Knicks. They're not as deep as the Knicks.
Yeah, I don't think they're as good as the Knicks.
They're not as good as the Knicks.
If the Knicks are healthy,
I'm saying,
I think you're right. The Knicks are the second best team in the East.
To me, could be the 6th seed and get to the conference finals. Yeah. Because the defense travels and the cohesion travels. All they got to do.
And if Boston acts dumb.
That's the other elephant in the room. Is Boston going to take 53s after the break? Or are they going to?
Because Boston is obviously good enough to beat the shit out of the Knicks.
Boston's A game is better than everybody else's in the whole league. If they bring their A game, they're not losing.
The trap of 3-pointer.
This is the problem.
They could lose to a team like that.
So to me, it's Boston and New York if New York is healthy at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Because Indiana still can't stop anybody. Okay, Philly is 2 players basically. Milwaukee can't stop anybody. And look, Miami is not beating the Knicks if the Knicks are healthy this year. They're not going to do it.
I agree with that.
They're not going to do it. Miami's getting older and slower by the day. And I like the kid from UCLA. He's talented, but he's not going to put them over the top. He is.
Who else did they get? Did they get somebody else?
Well, Tyler Hero hasn't played in the last 2 postseasons. So if he was just there, but here's the problem. And they got Rozier, the guard. Whoever just 20. Here's the problem. And look, now, if anybody can figure this out, it is Spoelstra. I think he's one of the best coaches in the league. He's proven that over time. Spoelstra has to find a way to get those guys to work together. And I said this, we talked about him starting. I think it's better if one of those guys comes off the bench. because one, your bench gets better. You add a 20-point scorer off your bench. And two, then there's enough of the ball to go around. You put 4 20-point guys on the floor. There's not enough basketball.
I mean, Hero's gotten 6 Man of the Year, hasn't he?
He did. You could bring him off the bench.
Might make sense to put him.
And by the way, in terms of his history pattern, he'd be the first guy.
Well, if you know one guy has had success on the bench, it might as well be him.
Well, Rozier had success off the bench in Boston.
Okay.
He was good in Boston. So I think either way it could work. The thing about Hero, to your point, the injury history. To me, if he's a sixth man, he's playing 25 minutes a night, he's less likely to get dinged up again. So
you think they can get by with him only playing that much a night?
25 a night if he's there. He hasn't been there.
Yeah, that's true.
So him and Jaime Hawkins,
25 or 0.
Him and Jorge the Vasquez for you. That's a nice 1-2 punch coming off your bench. Yeah, he's averaging 14 a game off the bench. Him and Tyler Hero coming off the bench would be a nice 1-2 punch.
Yeah, he's good.
The problem with Miami is this: they're small and they're slow. And they're getting older.
And they're dirty.
They're getting older. And Rozier is younger than what's his nuts, Lowry, but
Providence pulling away.
Providence
is Butler hurt? Because I feel like
he's been hurt.
Remember when they played the Celtics and he was not?
He didn't play. Yeah, he didn't play. Yeah, I don't know how severely hurt he is. Look,
they haven't played with a full roster yet.
Yeah, Miami's proven they can have the 8th seed and go to the finals. I think Miami just cares. In Miami's case, just get in the dance. That's what they're thinking.
Yeah.
I will tell you this: Boston has severely distanced themselves from Miami from a talent perspective. They have severely. It's not even close. There's a wide gap there.
Instead of fucking Grant Williams,
and the Time Lord
fighting with
he got exiled to Charlotte.
With Jimmy Butler, that will be Drew Holiday.
Yeah, and Drew Holiday will back it up.
Yeah.
And he won't start shit in the first place. He'll just do his job.
Yeah, he'll just be
He has
consistent.
a brain. And look, Porzingis, everybody said he should have been at All-Star Weekend. He should have been at All-Star. Him or Derek White. One of them should have at least been there. They didn't do that because this Adam Silver likes to get one guy from every team, even the ones that stink and don't deserve one. So I get it for the fan bases. I get why he did it.
It's better for Porzingis.
Yeah, I'd take the 8 days off.
Rest,
In the case of him, Porzingis wants rings. He wants rings. So no, I'd rather have him healthy than have him play in the
but
All-Star.
you're gonna make imagine the Miami bigs trying to cover Porzingis. No.
Boston swept them this year. I've seen it. They can't cover him. And not only can
series.
Here's the other problem.
They had to guard Al Horford and Time Lord, to your point.
Well, you had to guard Horford. You had to guard the Time Lord.
But Horford's not like guarding Porzingis.
No, but he can make threes.
Yeah.
He's just in fact, he's a 40% 3-point shooter this year, but he's not as good as Porzingis. But the thing is, Time Lord you didn't have to guard. So with Time Lord out there, Boston sacrificed offense for defense. They don't have to do that anymore because Porzingis does both. That's where Miami has a problem. He pulls the one shot blocker, which is what's his nuts, Bam Adebayo, away from the basket because he has to go out and cover him.
And what does he have? 5 inches on Bam?
He's 7'3", Bam's 6'10".
I mean, that's a big difference.
It's a huge difference.
And the wingspan is crazy.
And the wingspan is crazy. So look, to me, it's Boston and New York in the East. I agree with the A. And to me, where I'm not panicking is just get healthy by the end of the year because if they're in the top 6, they can get to the conference finals from 6. Because they can beat both those teams at the court because they have the defense, they have the cohesion, and I think they have the better coach. I think they do. So, and Tibbs was part of our team in 08. Look, and I'm not blaming Doc Rivers for Milwaukee because he didn't create
just
that.
got there.
He just got there. Their defense, by the way, has been better. It's been respectable. They went from like 28th to 12th. Now their offense has fallen off a cliff. But I don't think
maybe Dame winning MVP and 3-point contest to spark something for them.
Dame still can't guard a chair. He couldn't guard a chair. He can't.
How can you be that good at basketball?
Luka can't guard a chair. How good is Luka? Luka's leading the league in scoring right now.
Right. How is it possible?
Well, if in the case of Luka,
is it because they don't try?
No, JJ
Redick,
Redick,
really no technique.
I think they try to hide Luka in Dallas and save him for offense because they don't. He's their best.
Is he really
weapon.
that slow?
Well, he is 6'7". So could he?
6'7"?
He's 6'7".
Wow.
So
he moves like he's 6'4".
He could guard technically anyone from 6'5" to 6'10" and be okay. He wouldn't get killed. So what they try to do is hide him in the back half of their defense.
I thought he would get killed.
He does if he's out front. If he's when he got caught, remember when they played Dallas, Jaylen Brown broke his ankles on that jump shot? When he got caught in a switch with Jaylen Brown, and Boston knew this, Boston saw them trying to hide him, and they kept setting screens with him, so he had to guard. Tatum or Brown. He got shit on because he couldn't cover either one of them. Yeah. I mean, Jaylen Brown
even good defenders can't guard that.
Jaylen Brown broke his ankles. He fell down on a crossover back to a jump shot. Like he fell into the lane. It was awful. And then Jaylen Brown hit it, and Luka's face. Luka's ankles had never been broken that bad before. But anyway, Providence is up 6.
It's just wild that you could be, and I mean, it's silly for me to say that, I guess, but it's crazy that you could be that good at one part of basketball and that bad at another part of basketball, you know?
JJ Redick brought up a point today that I agree with. And again, but
what do you say?
Well, I do and I don't. I see his point, but the reality is he's saying that it's harder to play defense today because now you have to guard 15 to 20% more of the floor than you did back in the 80s and 90s.
Fair point.
It's a fair point.
To a certain extent.
Yeah, the problem is not all these guys out there are knockdown shooters, no. So you don't have to guard all of them. You got to guard like 2 or 3 of them.
It is true that the defense is stretched.
Yeah,
it's not
it's
as packed
stretched.
in.
But I'm saying that
help defense.
Help defense is more of a premium now. But again, are there guys you can leave? Oh yeah. So and because look, there's really only one team that I've seen that has 5 guys that can make the 3, and that's Boston. All 5 guys can shoot that shot. Yeah. All 5 starters, if you leave them, they can kill you. They've all had games where they've hit 5 or more threes, each one of them. And the only team that's done that.
Of some other teams.
Even what's his nuts there? Drew Holiday hit 6 threes against
I remember
Memphis. I mean, and he's probably the worst shooter in the starting 5.
Can Philly shoot the 3 or like?
To have Maxey can do it. That white dude.
I mean, Embiid can shoot the 3.
Embiid can shoot the 3 pretty good, and Tobias Harris he's It's not
Who's
really
the white guy? You said they have a white guy?
He comes off the bench. He can shoot the 3. I forget his name. He's like 6'7". He's kind of scrappy, but
so they don't have 5.
No, they don't got 5. No, they don't.
This is interesting though. Let's look at some other teams. Who else is like that?
That has 5 on the starting 5. I don't think there is another team. Everybody wants to say
Milwaukee.
Denver, but Denver maybe. But see,
but even
Aaron Gordon's not really a 3-point shooter. He's a slasher.
Oh yeah,
he's not a 3-point shooter.
And neither is what's his face.
No, yeah, the other two.
Who's the tall guy?
Michael Porter Jr.
I mean, he will shoot.
He will shoot it, but he's not. You can leave him open. He won't kill you. He might make a few.
Yeah, you would rather him shoot the 3 than slash on your ass.
I'd rather keep him out there. I'll take my chances with him. So really, other than Boston.
Yeah.
In the whole league, even Golden State with that small, because Draymond can't shoot threes. Klay Thompson's in an all-time slump.
Does Wiggins shoot the 3 that well, or is he more of a driver?
He can shoot it. He's not a knockdown shooter.
Definitely not.
He's more of a slasher.
Dude, they're in trouble in this press. Oh, they broke it.
They finally broke it. Well, make your free throws,
dude.
Why aren't they fouling?
Because they actually don't need to.
It's 4 points. It's not 3. You better make that shot. That was that was dumb.
Push.
That's exactly what they wanted him to do.
Don't shoot that 3.
Anyway, there's 34 seconds left. Xavier with the ball down 4. They are driving. He's going to the rack.
You got to shoot.
He's losing. He got his dribble back. The clock is ticking. That's a hell.
Nice
that's
play.
a hell of a
move.
Now you got to foul. They call timeout. So it's 77-75.
Xavier fought for those points.
He did. He earned them. There's still 24 seconds to go. Plenty of time. It's a free throw contest right now. Providence got to make their free throws.
Xavier's been stuck at 77 for the last 2 minutes.
Oh, Aubrey in a dress. Sorry. But see, then she looks plain right there. That's terrible. Put her back in the dress.
Plain is good.
We're going to leave that for another day. Anyway, I would say Boston's...
Baja Blast.
There you go. Commercial.
Dude, speaking of which, man, I need that Major Melon soon.
Oh,
let's wait for
segment 2. Yes. So anyway,
can I ask you this?
Sure.
Because you asked me mine, and I'm sorry I didn't watch. I didn't realize you recorded on Monday.
Well, anything more than 48 hours is suddenly it's dead.
I know.
Everybody's talked about it.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
What was your grade for Boston?
I gave him an
A. Okay.
I gave him an A because they had the best record by far. They're 6 games in front of Cleveland. I also gave an A because no one thought Cleveland would be the 2nd seed in the East at the All-Star break. So I gave them an A.
That's crazy.
I gave New York, them, and Cleveland A's. In the East. In the West, I gave the top 3 because those 3, Oklahoma City, Minnesota, and the Clippers. No, the Clippers. Because the Clippers are actually healthy. So I gave those 3 A's. I gave Denver a B+. Denver's kind of laying in the weeds. Kind of doing because they're defending champs. They're doing the rope-a-dope right now. A lot of defending champs.
Are they doing like the Chiefs?
Sort of. Well, the Chiefs led the league in drops. That was no accident.
That's true.
Okay,
They actually were bad.
Yeah, Denver didn't. Here's the problem with Denver. Denver lost their
They
bench.
allowed them to take.
Denver's problem
Hold on
is
a second. They got a turnover.
what? No, they didn't.
They did.
Oh shit!
Hold on. This fucking guy's at Xavier now?
Yeah, that's Sean Miller. He was the former All-American from Pitt.
And didn't his brother coached too, right?
He does. I forget where though.
One guy was at Indiana at one point, one of the Miller brothers.
I think you're right. Yeah. What happened? Don't.
I'm going, why haven't they fouled yet? Oh, he wasn't established from backcourt.
No, they didn't blow it there.
Yeah, that's where they blew it.
I thought it was a 5-second call.
So he hadn't been
Holy
established.
shit! We could have overtime here, or Xavier with a
didn't
3
win
to
it.
win it.
I want to see OT.
He's
He's going to the rack. He's got a shot. Blocked.
Wow!
And that's a jump ball.
What a defensive play, though.
But he forced it.
Wow. Providence met him at the rim. Hell of a block.
A guard tried to go up
Look
against
at
the
this.
bigs.
He goes right at the big. This guy.
That is a great defense.
That's a great defensive play. And then this guy, the guy underneath with the face mask.
Dude, but you can't go up there. Fuck. I guess he was committed. He had to go to the
He kind of had
rack.
to go to the rack. He could have kicked it out, but there's nobody open.
See, he's down. He'd have to drop the pass right here.
See, this is where the pull-up jump shot is wonderful because the guy can't get to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
Yeah, a little bank shot or a little rainbow.
Yeah, a little bank shot. But anyway, if he makes these 5.1 to go, it's not over. By the way, number 22 Colorado State is down early going to the Lobos, 13-2 in the early going. We'll be switching to that game afterwards. But this dude made the first one.
He's got
Ice
a mask
water.
on.
Ice water.
He's
in
got
his
the Rip
veins.
Hamilton on.
Who is that masked man? Remember that line? What movie was it,
There
America?
goes that man.
There goes that man.
Who is that masked man? I don't know. What is that?
The Lone Ranger.
Nah,
Who is that?
I don't think I
masked?
ever watched that.
Who is that man? Not the new one.
Hold on.
but,
What the fuck happened here?
What happened? They called timeout to freeze him?
Are they reviewing something?
I don't know.
Sound?
It's a nail biter. Hold on. Let's see what
Tie
happens.
the game. It would be 2 shots, as you see. Some time came off. They'll put it back to 5.1.
Oh, because the time came off because it went in. It's not a,
Why'd they start the clock?
because they're idiots. You don't start the clock. Even if he makes the second one, you can't start till the ball is passed in if it's a made basket.
But if it hits
From a
the
dead
rim
ball.
and it comes
Then,
off,
then it starts.
at the rim.
No, when somebody touches it. It doesn't start when it hits the rim.
See, but the other night they
It was
fucked
wrong.
somebody on that.
It was wrong. We talked about this.
So they were wrong.
They were wrong.
This guy's got ice.
He's got ice. Ice water in his
Game's
veins.
over.
Providence on the road. Stays.
Shoot it and get fouled.
Puts up a 3, no foul.
Oh.
Will do it. What a win
Providence.
for the Providence.
Scrappy.
They did that.
Scrappy. Those Friars. Scrappy.
That's right. We wanted them to win yesterday.
Yes, we did. Scrappy. Well, it helps you.
All right, so you gave Boston an A. I'll give you credit for something.
Well, what I was trying to say was before we were rudely interrupted. Look at the Big East, by the way. Look
You
at
know I
this,
do
the
that.
top 5. It's all right. Anyway, what I was trying to say was I gave Boston an A because not only was their record good, but they've developed the bench. He's playing the bench. He's developed Pritchard. He's developed Hauser. Horford was built for the 6-man role, and Cornette. He's developed Cornette. They actually are 9 deep right now. I didn't think they'd be 9 deep. I thought they might have to make a move at the deadline. Turns out they really didn't. And this other guy, this Brasoli, this other wing 6 guy, he's really good.
What's his name?
It's something I can't pronounce it. There's a Q in there. It fucks me all up. But anyway, he's a
He's
talent.
new this year?
Yeah, he's a 6'7" wingman. He plays D. He passes well. He slash. He can actually shoot. He's like the 10th guy. He can come in for Brown or Tatum and kind of play that role to an extent. And I'm like, I don't really know who that guy even is. And then there's the other kid, Cato, who came over from Portugal or whatever. He's a 7'1" shot blocking machine. He runs the floor and he's like, they have him too. So I'm like, Brad Stevens has done a very nice job filling out the roster.
Yeah.
So again, but the same question remains. Are they going to live by the 3? And again, the median we've talked about is 30 to 35 threes and over 20 free throws. If they're doing that, they're probably going to win 95% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So when they get over 40 and it's down around less than 20 free throws, that's when they get into trouble.
Yep.
So that's the one question mark. And, of course, the health. I love it. I was mad. We were talking about off the air that I thought Porzingis should have made the All-Star team. Tommy brought up a great point. 8 days of rest? Yeah. There's 27 games to go. You want him for the stretch run, and Tommy's right. Fuck the All-Star game. You'll talk like a championship here.
Yeah.
And he's 100% right. So, let him sit, get 100%. Don't play him back-to-back. You got a comfortable lead. Get the number 1 spot. You're 4 games in front of Minnesota in the West. So just don't blow it.
Yeah.
Don't blow it and go in there healthy. Play your bench more. Keep them developing.
Yeah.
And just keep going to the basket and getting over 20 free throws free throw attempts a game. They do that, and it's theirs to lose. That's if they do
It
that.
doesn't feel like they're going to do that, though.
They haven't done it yet.
I mean, it's crazy to say that, but it's what they keep doing.
They have been the most talented team in the league the past 2+ years. They have yet to win a ring. They've been in the finals once. They blew it. They came back from 3-0 in the conference finals, but they shouldn't have been down. Should have never been down that.
Should have never lost to the Warriors.
No.
And then had no business
Miami.
really losing any games in
Miami.
the Eastern Conference
None.
playoffs. In the Eastern Conference playoffs.
The Hawks took them to 6 in the first round. I said that to you, that they were in trouble.
You said if they don't sweep this series.
Yep. They never should have lost 2 games to the fucking Hawks.
And then
they lose game 1 at home in Philly with no Embiid.
Yeah, awful.
Awful. Like, they were not going to win that championship. They just didn't have it up here. Now, the one encouraging thing, we talked about this off here, and I talked about it Monday. Jason Tatum finally met Larry Bird. And Jason Tatum, who was the one in the press conference, I can't believe I've never met this guy, and I was so nervous when I met him. And he was so cool, and he's a lot bigger than I thought he was.
Yeah, I saw him say that.
And he's just
taller
like,
than I thought
he's
he
taller than I
was.
thought he was. Yeah, he's 6'10". And then he has an interview with Malika Andrews, and she asks him a question. She goes, "Now, last year when I asked you this question, you said Giannis. So I'm going to ask it again. Who do you think is the best player in the world right now?"
Really? He said Giannis.
He said Giannis last year. He said me. and I almost fell out of my chair when he said it. And she goes,
Did he sound like he believed it?
Yeah.
He did.
He
It
goes,
didn't
"Look,"
sound like
he
it
goes,
was
he goes, but he said it calmly. It wasn't cocky. It was like, "I believe it's me." He goes, "I put the work in. My team's improved. We've got my game this year. I'm doing more. I'm getting guys involved, and I put the work in. I know the work I put in. I'm not resting on my nose. I'm still pissed about it." He said, "I'm still mad about the finals 2 years ago. I'm still mad about that."
Yeah.
And he's like, so the fact that he hasn't forgotten that, and he goes, and then last year we blew that against Miami. He's like, I saw the full interview,
Yeah.
and he never forgot these things. He's like, "Look, I forget the guys we brought in. I was killing myself this summer after what happened the last 2 years because I know we should be better." So
Tatum is a very likable player.
It's hard not to like him.
He seems like a decent guy, like
He's not cocky.
yeah, the way he plays,
Yeah.
you see that.
But he says, "Look, I'm just trying to keep getting better, but I know the work I've put in and continue to put in. I'm not satisfied. In fact, I'm mad because we should have one by now, but we didn't do it. We didn't get over the hump. So it's not good enough. It's not enough."
Yeah.
And this came on the heels of him meeting Bird. So I made a comment going, "Wow, this sounds like a man who just met Larry Bird." And I said, "Well, now you got to back up your talk like he once did. So we'll see what he does." To me, I never thought I'd hear Jason Tatum say that in any context.
It almost like because he felt like too nice to say that.
Yeah.
Like he wouldn't want to offend his fellow basketball players.
And by the way, I'm glad you said that because what he said before he said I'm the best. Like, look, I have a lot of respect for Giannis and Jokic and Embiid. All these guys are great, but I feel when I'm on my game, I'm the best player.
He's right.
And he's not wrong when he says
right.
that because he's lit up both these guys. Okay,
Yeah.
on there.
And when you think about like his game and you talk
complete.
and him and his work ethic, anybody whose mid-range game is that good must work on it all the time.
It's the most, and this is why
All the time.
This is why Isaiah
You
Thomas.
can hit pull-ups and fucking. I mean,
Michael Jordan became the GOAT because of his mid-range game. Let's be honest. And no one really talks about this, but before Michael Jordan, there was Isaiah Thomas. The difference is one was 6'1", and the other was 6'6".
Yeah.
But literally, Isaiah Thomas could pull up from anywhere on guys that were 8 inches taller than him, and they couldn't block a shot because they didn't know when he was going to pull up. Jordan, who's got a 48-inch vertical leap and is 6'6", could pull up from anywhere. And then why did Kobe become same thing?
Yeah.
Kobe had a mid-range game. Bird had a mid-range. All these great scorers. Paul Pierce had a great mid-range game. All these guys that scored with 20.
crafty as fuck.
Carmelo Anthony had a great mid-range game. All these scorers from inside to they can pull up.
they can just go boom.
Yeah. And they can do it back to the basket, off a screen. They can do a lot of things. And that's why
And same thing goes for Brown too.
yeah.
Like
Jaylen Brown can.
he's a
if he
workaholic.
could make free throws for Christ's sake, he shoots 71%.
But that's the crazy part. These guys work constantly on their game, but maybe they need to tweak some of the things they're working on. They're probably concentrating on threes a lot because
that's the league.
They shoot the three pretty well. As many as they fucking take and we hate it.
They're sixth in the league. I was looking this up.
Like,
they're sixth in the league in percentage.
When you see Tatum take a step back net in the face of a guy who's taller than him, it's incredible.
It's hard to do.
And
It's hard to do.
you understand why you can fall in love with that.
Yeah.
But Don't.
Don't.
Don't, and you'll win a championship.
Let me ask you this question. We'll end the segment on this. I'm going to ask you this question first, and I want you to ask me. If you could, right now, before the second half of the season started, if you could have a meeting with just the players, if you could sit them down for 10 minutes and just talk to them, with 27 games left, what would you advise them to do over the last 27 games?
Of the Celtics?
No, the Knicks.
Oh, the Knicks.
Yeah. If you could have 10 minutes and look, just a quick, it's 27 games to go. What would you say? This is what you want to focus on for the rest of the season to get position for the playoffs. And obviously, health is the obvious one.
Well,
but what are some other?
That's a tough one with the Knicks because you want to be like,
Yeah.
you get off the injured list. You get off the injured list. Have surgery, goddammit.
Stop
We need
working
you
out
back.
twice a day if you need to.
Well, I think
What would you say to them?
to
that
the
aside.
rest of the guys who are there, the message has to be, fucking stay afloat. Okay, we are not complete right now.
No.
But that doesn't mean we have to free fall into a pit of despair.
No.
We have enough guys here to win the games we're supposed to, be competitive in the games where we're outmanned, and get to a point where once we get healthy, we're still in the playoff picture and we have a shot.
You do.
That's all you have to do.
Yeah. Just
Right.
avoid the play-in. Don't finish
Yes,
lower than
yes,
avoid the
yes.
play-in. Don't
Avoid
finish
the
lower
play-in.
than 6. If you finish 6, if you're next, you're in a good spot because defensively, other than Boston, you're the best defensive team in the conference.
Right.
I believe.
So until we can get healthy, play hard ass fucking defense, move the ball, and don't just fucking take threes. Because now that all your stars are hurt, you don't have fucking 3-point gunners.
No, but here's the thing. This could be a blessing because you can develop this bench even more. 'Cause They
Yes.
got to play now.
You've got
and they're
Princess
meaningful
Achua.
games. Yeah.
You got Princess Achua, who, when he's a role player, has been really good.
Yes, he has. But the experience is good because they're in a playoff run.
Yes.
This is
because
actually
right now there's no heart and
no,
stuff.
but this could be a blessing for the Knicks because they can develop that bench.
Yes.
This could be a blessing because these games matter.
And Bogdanovich, maybe they do lean on him for a lot of scoring. But once
That's
Randall
fine.
comes back,
But that's
he can go
fine.
to the bench
Yeah.
and you can come get 18 off the bench.
Yep.
But that would be my message. Is just keep fighting.
They went right to it for us. Isn't that beautiful?
Oh, it's been on.
I didn't
and
see
look, Colorado State's got it back. To
They
the
fought.
lead.
Yeah, the Colorado State's good.
They were down 10 or
Yeah,
11.
look at that shot. What the fuck?
So that would be my message because I think the key for the Knicks right now is you don't want them to get too discouraged.
No.
And if they focus too much on what's happened over the last 10 days and what might happen in the next 20,
Yeah.
they could really fall into that spiral. And they don't
Yeah,
have to.
okay.
You might go 500. You might go
Stay afloat.
Right. You might
Stay
go
afloat.
a game below 500 for the next 15.
Yep.
That's all right. That's not a free fall. That will
Nope.
keep you in the mix.
Okay.
And then once OG comes back or once Randall comes back, now you can start to be the team you were prior to the trade deadline. And once you get everybody back, now you're ready for the playoffs.
Okay. Makes sense.
And what would you say to the Bostonian Celtics?
My hope is that Larry Bird said this to Tatum when they met. I don't know how long that conversation was or if they had more than one, but if I could get them
love
in
to
a,
hear that
I would
conversation.
love to hear that conversation. But if I could get them in a room just before they start tomorrow night, I would say, look, you're right where you want to be. You've done everything to get to this point. Now don't take your foot off the gas. 1, stay aggressive. 2, and don't think you've got anything locked up. Okay, keep pushing forward. Keep developing and playing the bench. And to me, the happy medium is 30-20. If you want to shoot 30, 35, 30, I have no problem with that, but make sure you get in the line 20 plus times a game so you have a habit. If nothing else, it'll keep the defense honest.
Yeah.
Just don't fall in love with it where you're taking 47 threes and 11 free throws. I can't, because they lose pretty much every time that happens. Pretty much every time that happens.
That's where I feel like they could have some rules as a team. Hey,
Well, this
if
is-
we miss 6 threes,
Go the freaking
the next
basket.
4 fucking possessions are all penetration.
It's not like you can't go to the
Right.
basket. You got 2 guys that can't be stopped on the wing.
Exactly.
It's like, so I would say stay the course, keep your foot on the gas, don't just settle for threes. I have no problem with you taking them, but have that balance, have that happy medium. Because when you do that, good things are going to happen. And just stay healthy. Be alert, stay in shape, stay healthy, and don't slack off. Because it's in front of you if you don't blow it. Because you could blow it, and you've done it in the past. And I was like, don't forget your recent past. Because remember this, you should have 1 or 2 already. You don't because you took your foot off the gas.
Right.
Don't do it this time.
You stopped yourself.
You
Nobody
stopped
stopped
yourself.
you.
No one stopped you. You stopped yourself twice now. So, and I think deep down you know it.
How many
he's done,
turnovers in those finals games?
They averaged
22 or something?
in the last 2 games, 40 turnovers.
God.
40. Okay. They had 18 in one game and 22 in the next, and it led to almost 60 points.
Yeah.
That's how they lost games 5 and 6. So don't forget that and use it as motivation. That's
worse than what happened with the Heat last year.
Way worse. They were up 2-1. They had home court advantage in the finals, and they blew it. They lost 2 of the last 3 at home.
Yeah.
That's terrible. Not with a team that kind of talent, terrible. So don't forget that stuff. You know the saying, those that don't study their history are destined to repeat it.
It's true.
I'm a history major. I can give you millions of examples, okay? So stay the course, keep your foot on the gas, and that happy medium. 30 to 35 threes, over 20 free throws every game, and watch what you can do. So anyway, that's going to do it for segment 1. We're going to come back, segment 2. We are going to talk, I want to get his take on,
We have a lot to talk about.
we have a lot to talk about. 2 Cents with Tommy might involve the word donkey. I have a feeling.
Also, pitchers and catchers.
Pitchers and catchers report. Oh, and I got to talk about what the Boston Reds. Oh, you got to hear this. Holy! It's too early to get my blood boiling about baseball, but God damn it, the Red Sox did it. I want your opinion on it.
I think they're going to be better this year.
Where do you hear what was said? When you hear this, I want to hear your opinion. Man, we will talk. Not hot stove. Spring training. Pitchers and catchers have reported.
Yes.
Red Sox play their first game on
games,
Saturday.
yeah.
Saturday
That's
against the
my
Orioles.
Saturday.
Yeah. So we will
That's
delve
my
into
Saturday.
that. I know I was going to wet his whistle.
Dude, I get excited.
He gets excited about baseball,
season.
so he should be trickling.
I'm the psycho that watches
Everything. He'll watch
4 to 5 games a week.
He is a grapefruit fucking junkie. Grapefruit League junkie. All right? So anyway, we will see you in segment 2 in a few minutes. Yoda, Betty, Jobu, all in the hizzy. See you on the other side, soldier.
Soldier.